game night just got a lot cuter. Today we're using crochet to make a small bag to hold your game pieces. And along the way, you're going to learn 4 essential skills: how to make a slip knot, how to make a chain stitch, how to double crochet, and how to fasten off. Don't worry if you've never picked up a hook before. This is the perfect place to start. So the supplies we're going to need to make our game piece bag are going to be yarn, and I've got Big Twist that I got from Joann's before it closed. You can buy that at Michael's now. Some of it is on Amazon, but I know Michael's has it. And I have got a bundle here of 7 yards that I'm going to be using. And then I have a scissor. You'll need a scissor. You'll need a crochet hook, and for the Big Twist yarn, which is an acrylic number 4 yarn, you actually need 5mm hook, and that's what I've got here. And then you will need a large-eyed needle, and sometimes they call these tapestry needles, all sorts of names, but just make sure it's a large-eyed needle. We'll use that to finish up. And then I have fabric, and I just used a salad plate to make the size of this. I felt like this was big enough to hold my game pieces for this particular game, and I made 16 holes around the edge, equidistant, and I used a hole punch. If you don't have a hole punch, you can just snip a little with a sharp scissor. Just take a little snip there. It's all you need this hole for, is to make sure that your hook can go in and out of this, because we're going to attach the crocheting we do to this fabric. Now let's get started on the bag for our game pieces. To start, you're going to need to know how to hold your yarn, hold your crochet hook, make a slip knot. If you don't know how to do that yet, I will link in the description below a short video on how to do that. But this video is going to just start right off assuming that you know those few beginner things. So we're going to make our slip knot. And we're ready to go. Now, we don't have some of the few things that don't have a foundation chain, and this is one of them, because this is going to serve as our foundation, so we don't need to make that chain. The first stitch we're going to do is a double crochet, and to do a double crochet, you're going to want to do a yarn over. So go down toward the palm of your hand, back towards your tall finger, and up. And you just made a yarn over. And we're going to go now into, we would ordinarily go into a chain stitch, but we're going to go into this hole right here in our fabric. And do another yarn over, pull it through until we have 3 loops on our hook. Just see that, 3 loops on the hook. And we'll do another yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we've made our very first double crochet. Then we're going to make 3 chain stitches. And to make a chain stitch, you go down towards your palm, back towards your tall finger, and up. And again, you've got a yarn over. But for a chain stitch, you just pull it through that 1 loop you've got. We're going to do 2 more. Down, back, up, and pull through the loop on the hook. Down, back, up, and pull through the loop on the hook. Now I've done 3 chain stitches. Now it's time for another double crochet. And we'll just go and get our yarn over and go into that hole. Grab the yarn and pull it to the front so that we now have 3 loops again on the hook. You'll yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through those last 2. And we've done our second double crochet. And now we do 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. I'm doing them slow so you can follow the action of my fingers. And we've done our 3 chains, so we're going to do a double crochet. So yarn over, go into that hole, go back and grab that yarn and pull it to the front, and you've got 3 loops on your hook. Now you're going to have another yarn over, and you're going to pull it through the first 2, yarn over, pull it through the second 2. That's what we call a double crochet, because we do 2 actions there. Now, chain stitch, chain stitch, chain stitch, and back to double crochet. Yarn over, into the hole, grab that yarn, bring it through the front, and we have 3 loops. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. And we're going to do another chain stitch. Now remember, for chain stitches, we go into the palm, back to the tall finger, and up for a chain over, and we pull it through. Down, back, up, pull through. Down, back, up, pull through. If you notice, I keep moving my hand up because I want to lightly pinch that yarn underneath the loop that's on the hook, and then I can make it big enough to be able to pull yarn through. So I can move easily in and out of that loop. You don't want it so tight that you can't easily pull it in and out of that loop. Okay, time for another double crochet. We go down, back, up to get a yarn over. Then we go into the hole, grab some yarn and pull it to the front. And we have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And 3 chains. So that's the pattern here. A double crochet and 3 chains. A double crochet and 3 chains. Now, I have no more holes. I have used each hole. I've come back to the beginning. So, and we've done our 3 chain stitches after that last double crochet. So now I'm just trying to join this first double crochet to this piece here, this 3 chains. And so what I do is I just go into the very top of that first double crochet and I yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop on the hook. So we don't actually do a chain. It's called a slip stitch, and we're just joining. And I do what starts out as a chain stitch, and I pull it, but I pull it big. And then I take my scissors and I make sure I have a tail, and I cut it right there, and then I pull the rest of that, and it makes a knot. You just pull it tight, and it makes a knot. Now we will the majority of our bag that's going to hold our game pieces. Right now, just to get rid of these little pieces, we're going to weave those in. And to do that, we're going to use our needle with a large eye. And we need that large eye to thread this yarn. Now, we're not only want to make this thread disappear, but we want to make sure it doesn't unravel. So we're going to go in and out of these stitches, and if we go 3 different directions, that is nice and firm and won't pull out. So we're going to go this way for a short ways, we're going to come back and go back that way. So this is how we do it. And on this, since it's going to be pulled tight and it's not going to be examined as closely, we don't have to be quite as careful. And it's the same color yarn, and it's going to work out fine. So I'm just going to move it along in this direction, in and out of some of these stitches. In and out. And I'm going to turn around and go back. This is my second direction. And again, in and out. And we'll go back for our third direction. And once we've done this, this will not pull out. It will bind to itself. Make sure we can get through there. Go in and out one more time. Now we're going to cut this off, being very careful not to cut any stitches, just this loose yarn. Now I'll do this second tail, and then we'll all come back here and do the next step. Okay, we've come back here and I've got all the double crochets and the chain stitches all around in my 16 holes. And with the remainder of my yarn, I am going, we need about a yard twice over. So we need 2 1-yard pieces. But I'm just going to do this in half. I don't know exactly how long it is. It'll be more than 2 yards, but let's just use this piece. Cut it in half, and then we know we've got long enough piece of yarn. Again, we're going to thread this needle. You hardly need it because the holes are so big, but we're going to do it just to make it a little speedier. Because what we're doing is going in and out of each one of these, in front of and behind each one of these double crochets, each one of these openings. So you can start anywhere. So just in and out, in and out, in and out, all the way around, in and out, in and out, in and out. And I will be ending on the same so now I've gone around once and I have 2 long tails, and we're going to use the other piece of yarn and we're going to start across from that first start. Oops. So we're over here, so let's start right here and do the exact same thing. This is quick and easy. Whoop. Got out of the picture. But you know what I'm doing. In and out. And I'm going to end up where I started. Okay. I've got tails on both sides. So let's open that up so we know how long our tails are going to be. And we just need about 6 inches left over here. And so let's just trim that to 6 inches. Trim this to 6 inches and tie a knot. You could put a bead in there. That would be cute. I just didn't have a bead that would match this fabric and yarn. So I'm just doing a knot here. And you can fray the edges if you want. That would be cute. But just make sure you have a knot there and a knot here. And then you just pull it tight and it makes your little bag. And here is the bag with the game pieces, so you can see how nice that holds those game pieces. And just like that, you've made a super cute bag and learned the basics of crochet. Whether it's holding game pieces, buttons, or just showing off your skills, you made it yourself. And that's something to be proud of. If you had fun stitching with me, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so we can keep crocheting together. See you next time, and until then, may your yarn never tangle and your stitches stay sweet.